guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who this be, it's your girl KylerB coming at you with a new video. So today we're going to be talking about the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Part 4. So, Part 4 came out December 31st, and let's just say it was just a wild season, a wild part, to the season. So they picked up off of, the last time you saw was, Blackwood was like, he has the Eldritch Terrors, and, it comes to play in Part 4. So in Part 4, there's 8 Eldritch Terrors, and it's one for each. One Eldritch Terror comes in for each episode. They kind of like continued out until by episode 5 or 6. Then it kind of got all like mixed together. So the first Eldritch Terror was the Darkness. Second was the Uninvited. Third was the Weird. Fourth was the Perverse. Fifth was, I believe, was the Cosmic. And then sixth was the Return. Seventh was the Endless. And eighth was the Void. So those were the Eldritch Terrors. So at the end of like the first 4 episodes, it seems like Sabrina was able to save the day with some type of help, either using her double, the Sabrina Spellman, using Morningstar's help, or helping with Ambrose, or now they have like these other witches to help them now because they don't. Yeah, it's a lot. So okay, so this season, I keep on saying season, but it's not a season. This part, which had leaves me a lot of questions, because we don't know. This part was not supposed to be the end. This part was supposed to be a continuation, or basically like a season finale. So I would say episode 7 was definitely my favorite episode, because it was very breaking the fourth wall, very Inception-like, very meta. It was like, okay, they like brought in the OG Aunt Hilda and Aunt Zelda. Also, they had like, they're on set, they're filming on set, and then he had a set on set, and then they actually had themselves watching, like reading scripts and watching themselves, like they were saying, oh, this is what we did in this part, or this is what we did in this part, or Harvey and Sabrina having that talk, like, oh, we already did this, we had that conversation before. And I'm just like, okay, it was very interesting. And then like towards the end of the episode, when like Morningstar was running away from the Void, or from everybody who was like getting controlled by the Void, I was like, why is she running so slow? Run faster. Because I was just like, girl, run faster. They're like right on your heels. Like, come on, let's go. But yeah, that was my favorite episode. There was a lot happening. Like, what else? We got Sabrina Morningstar, being happy with Caliban, and she's married to Caliban, but then we also have Caliban having like this, like, what's it called, this plot that he wants to be the ruler of the underworld. So it's like we don't necessarily know that if he really likes Sabrina Morningstar, or he's just still trying to be the ruler, trying to like knock off Lucifer off his like throne or whatever and be the king. But other than that, that's his plot, or his little plot to the story. Then we have these Eldritch Terrors, and then Sabrina's single. So we have Sabrina being jealous of Harvey and Roz and Dio and Robin, and we see the jealous Sabrina, and then we also get to see later on, like I think 4 episodes later, after episode 1, we have Nick coming back and being like, oh, I really love you, Sabrina, blah, 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 blah. But then Sabrina's like, you know, you hurt me, and, you know, I need time, whatnot. And the next thing you know, the cosmic Eldritch is here, and they're like basically the end of the world, basically type scenario. So Sabrina Morningstar overheard like a conversation that Nick was saying to her. So then Sabrina Spellman was just like, there's just 1% chance that they'll take you back. So they took them back, and they basically progressed their relationship even further. If you know, you know. And then they're basically together but episode 5, I believe, basically foreshadowed what was to come, because the angel came, basically said that you either merge or you basically have to kill one of the Sabrinas. So basically at the end, we know Sabrina Morningstar died from the void, and then Sabrina Spellman basically, you know, she got the void inside of her, or partial of the void inside of her, and then she died trying to sacrifice her life for the void. There was a little bit of discourse about why did Sabrina and Nick end up in heaven, basically because they were just like, what? Just because I was just like, okay, so I was confused on how Nick, maybe Sabrina, because Sabrina is like, obviously she's half mortal, so, or, you know, human, whatever. So I was just like, okay, that makes sense for Sabrina to be there. But I was like, okay, we already know that Nick is a warlock, witch, whatever. How did he end up in basically heaven? So I was confused about that. So I was like, okay. Basically the silver lining to this part is that we have Nick and Sabrina being endgame, having their little afterlife moment. Basically remind me of Mary and Frances from Rain, you know, having their little afterlife thing. As though that this part wasn't supposed to be their last part, this part definitely felt like, you know, let's tie it in, let's bring out, the writers really had a field day for this part. Like, they brought in all their, you know, machines and artillery, you know, for this part, because they were like trying to go out with a big bang. Like, you would think that they knew previously, like, oh, this is our last part. But no, Roberto basically said that he was already writing a part 5. There is a lot of talk that Chilling Adventures of Sabrina might get picked up for a part 5 on HBO Max, and a lot of people have a lot of, you know, evidence to that being the truth. So we'll see. I don't think it would be announced too soon, because the part, you know, it just came on Netflix. So before Netflix like really gives up, you know, or basically, I'm not sure how it would be, because would Netflix have to take it off of their streaming services, or would this just be on, you know, Chilling Adventures would be on Netflix and HBO Max, or would just be 4 parts on Netflix and then the 5th part be on HBO Max. So I'm not sure how it would go about, but I'm kind of, you know, interested to see how that goes. Yeah, the silver lining, like I said, the silver lining to this part, it was, you know, Nick and Sabrina ending up together. There was a lot of questions, like what's going on with Lilith and Lucifer. The Mambo Marie, I was just like, okay, so was Mambo Marie a man the whole time? Because they basically give you this like big, you know, reveal that, you know, Mambo Marie was like, her father was this person, and then she's part of this and that. And I'm just like, okay, like, we need context. We need to know. We don't have like a history lesson about who Mambo Marie's father was. So I'm confused on like, why did Zelda was like, okay, I don't want to have no part with you or your father or something like that. So I'm confused about, okay, who truly was Mambo Marie. Yeah, so that. Also, I heard a lot of discourse about how, like, the Lucifer character like really went down the drain, because he basically went from being this like, oh, big bad wolf, to being like taken down by the spirit of Longinus that Lilith had, basically being able to, you know, be taken, overthrown, you know, pretty easily, because, you know. But I'm just like, okay, so if the spirit of Longinus has, you know, can kill immortal people, so why can't they use that on Blackwood? Because Blackwood keeps on saying that he has the mark of Cain, but that makes him immortal. But okay, Lucifer is supposed to be immortal, you know, all these people, whoever was immortal, are immortal. So I'm confused as, okay, now Blackwood can't be killed at all, like even with the spirit of Longinus, like if they're really trying to kill him. But I feel like they're just keeping that because they want to keep the actor on, which is fine. But I'm just like, okay, they keep on saying, oh, we can't kill this dude because he has the mark of Cain, but then you can kill Lucifer with the spirit of Longinus, you can kill Lazarus. Like, what? I mean, even though that helped progress the plot, I mean, I would just like, there's a lot of things that are just not adding up. It's just not adding up. There's a lot of things that, you know, you would need a part 5 to kind of like tie up loose ends, for sure. Definitely. Also, like, what happened to Nick's body? Like, where's his body? Like, they said that, you know, he said he went to this, you know, the Sea of Sorrows. People are taking that literally or figuratively and metaphorically. But I'm just like, there is a Sea of Sorrows because they showed you that in part 3. So I would assume that he really did went there, you know, to do what he did to end up with Sabrina in, you know, heaven, the afterlife. So yeah, if I had to rate these parts in order, I would say part 2 still stands. I would say part 2, part 4, part 3, part 1. Or part 1, part 3. Part 3 being last. Part 3 was good, but because it had, like, you know, interesting stuff, but it was still like, what? Part 2 was probably one of the best parts, I still say, because it was just very interesting. In terms of the Sabrina ship, I would say part 4 does precede that because a lot of things happen. Obviously, you can see that at the end, you know, Nick really literally, you know, truly loves Sabrina, and Sabrina truly loves Nick. So, I mean, what else is there to say? But yeah, hopefully they'll get a part 5. It was pretty much a decent season, but to Roberto. The only thing that you did good was having Sabrina be together, okay? Sorry, Sabrina shippers or KylerB stands, but it's Sabrina for me. Sorry. But yeah. If you like the video, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, comments, and concerns. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Peace.